You know Chad. Perfect chin line with a well-groomed beard and hair nicely slicked back with rippling muscles. Well, Chad is an African country. Chad is a fairly large country, but it is mostly desert. Poverty is rife in the country, and it ranks as the third lowest country in the Human Development Index. Chad gained independence from France in 1960, and when disagreements arose over whether the new country should be Christian or Muslim, the government collapsed in the Civil War. Side note, the French designing a country to immediately collapse so mostly French UN peacekeepers can move in? What a coincidence that totally didn't happen to every former French African colony. This is where former Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi comes into the picture. In 1982, Chadian president Hissène Habré took power, but was unrecognized by Gaddafi. In 1983, Chad was partially partitioned, with Libyan-backed rebels known as the Transitional Government of National Unity, or GUNT, taking control of the northern regions. A year later, France and Libya made an agreement to withdraw their forces from Chad, but Libya did not respect this agreement. In 1986, Habré was able to take advantage of factional disputes in GUNT to fragment the organization. The same year, GUNT also rebelled against Gaddafi, losing his ally and legitimacy for being in Chad. Seeing this as an opportunity, Habré ordered the Chadian army over the partition line to link with the GUNT forces fighting Libyans in the north. Now, the reason for the Libyan war was that Gaddafi wanted this piece of land, the Al-Zawr Strip. Now, why Gaddafi wanted the Al-Zawr Strip so bad, I don't know, because it looks like this. By 1987, the Libyan force in Chad numbered over 8,000, with modern military hardware, including tanks. However, they suffered from disunified chain of command, with different Libyan garrisons being comparable to islands in the Sahara, isolated from the outside world. Morale was also extremely low among the Libyan force, fighting on foreign soil with a disunified structure due to Gaddafi's paranoia of imminent coups d'etats. The Chadian army numbered 10,000, and the soldiers were motivated and led by experienced officers, supported by the French Air Force. The French also provided Chad with 400 new Toyota pickup trucks and anti-tank missiles. The first target of the Chadian offensive was the Libyan base in the town of Fada. It was defended by 2,000 Libyan soldiers and a Chadian faction called the Democratic Revolutionary Council, or CDR. The Chadians used their knowledge of the terrain to surround the base, attacking from all sides on January 2nd, destroying the Libyan base. 784 Libyans were killed, and 100 tanks were destroyed, with only 50 Chadians dying. The decisive defeat stunned Gaddafi, who ordered many new battalions into Chad and retaliated against France by bombing the town of Arada, well south of the agreed partition line. France responded by airstriking the Libyan communications base at Audi Douam, blinding the Libyan Air Force for months. In March, Audi Douam fell to the Chadians, despite being defended by 5,000 soldiers. I found Chad, by the way. The first 3 months of the war resulted in more than 3,000 Libyan casualties. After the fall of Audi Douam, Gaddafi's Chadian allies deserted him. Libyan forces became isolated and vulnerable, islands in the vast sands of the Sahara, sands the Chadians knew all too well. On Gaddafi's orders, Libyan forces began a general withdrawal from Chad. Gaddafi announced he had won the confrontation and was leaving Chad so the opposition could fight Habré. What a sore loser. In August, the encouraged Chadians pushed their offensive into the disputed Al-Zawr Strip, occupying the town of Al-Zawr and defeating the Libyans decisively. Yet again, what Chads? After repeated bombardments and counterattacks, the Libyans finally drove the 400 Chadians off. On September 5th, the Chadians attacked a base on Libyan soil, killing 1,000 and destroying the base before going back home. Rather anticlimactic if you ask me. The war finally ended in a ceasefire in September, where the Al-Zawr Strip issue was not formally resolved, but in 1994 the UN gave it to Chad anyway. Libya suffered a decisive defeat in the Toyota War, losing 7,500 men, a tenth of its army, while the Chadians only lost 1,000. The war ended ideas of Libya becoming a regional power and gave rise to pickup trucks being used as weapons of war, with what are known as technicals being used widely by militias and militaries alike. Thanks for watching.